The BTT poll for the top 10 movies of 2012 has closed and the results are in. Plus, for the third year in a row since I started asking for your vote, once again there has been a record number of votes, so a huge thanks to everyone who participated. And because I know you're all so passionate about movies, I've decided to reveal the top 20 movies that you chose. So here are numbers 20 through 11, with some nice twists. Just making it onto the list is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It took more than a decade for this cult hit novel to make it to the big screen, and it features some amazing performances shaped by the novel's writer-turned-director Stephen Chbosky. Unfortunately, The Perks of Being a Wallflower has received little box office or awards attention, but it clearly made an impression with many of you. Good news for the book and the film's rising stars. Next, at number 19, you put Brave, which is shockingly low for a Pixar film, but at least the animation studio is staying on your radar. And while Disney hasn't gotten a new franchise, they did get a new princess. But you gave even higher marks to Disney's John Carter, which I also put on my top 10 list for the year. Considering the fallout over this financial flop, from Rich Ross's ouster at Disney to Taylor Kitsch being declared box office poison, it's amazing we both put the film so high up on our lists. This only underlines the opportunity that Disney clearly missed. John Carter could have been their new franchise. At number 17, you've got the only slasher movie on the list, the one that turned the genre on its head. Joss Whedon, producing here, clearly can capture audience attention at any budget, and expect writer-turned-director Drew Goddard to be helming a Marvel Studios flick in the near future. He's already worked with Thor. Moving on, we begin to find some of the major awards contenders. Life of Pi might have been forgotten by the Golden Globes and SAG, but not by you. That's an impressive feat by Ang Lee, as his movie features mostly animals, and the few actors it does feature are all from outside Hollywood. The studios might not believe it, but obviously you are willing to expand your cinematic horizons. You're also not as easily offended as Spike Lee, as Django Unchained made number 15 on your list. This critics and crowd pleaser couldn't quite crack your top 10, but it did just hit theaters. Plus, while Hollywood has avoided the topic of slavery in America for almost, well, forever, this bodes well for next year's 12 Years a Slave from director Steve McQueen and Brad Pitt. Next, Wes Anderson rebounded this year with one of the biggest hits of his career, and you gave him your blessing, putting Moonrise Kingdom at number 14, ahead of all the other movies I just mentioned. The Golden Globes and Independent Spirit Awards agree with you, and we'll know soon if you guys accurately predicted this movie's Oscar run as well. Then, Les Miserables, another hot Oscar contender, failed to crack your top 10 list just as Django Unchained did. But again, this might be a case of not enough of you having seen it yet. Or it might be because no matter how good a job Anne Hathaway does on screen, she's still unlikable off-screen and continues to prompt a mini backlash for any film she's in. But someone who's become immensely likable to audiences is Channing Tatum, whose 21 Jump Street you put at number 12. Both Tatum and co-star Jonah Hill might have had to go back to high school in this comedy, but clearly the film has helped them graduate to legitimate movie star status. A sequel is already in the works, but not before the film's directors and Tatum worked their magic on the very first Lego feature film. Finally, the film that almost made it onto your top 10 is Prometheus, which instead had to settle for number 11. We all fell in love with the world of the film as soon as we saw the viral video, Happy Birthday David, and at the very least, Prometheus has cemented Michael Fassbender as one of his generation's hottest thespians, in every sense of the word. And while Prometheus left many of us scratching our heads, looks like we might get some answers with a greenlit sequel. And those are your runners-up for the top 10 movies of 2012. Happy with the results? Did you vote for any of these movies? Be sure to share your thoughts down below. I'm Grace Randolph, and this has been a Movie Bite. You can watch more, including your top 10 list, right now.